I don't know. I think I don't have it. What the hell?
Oh, I thought it's only okay if you do it?
You're talking. It's normal that I stare.
Talk to them.
Okay, share a job experience.
Okay, share a job experience. That is a poop story.
That'd be your worst.
Yeah, probably will. You go with yours first.
No, I have to think. You do yours. You already have it ready.
Okay, I don't have to think. What do we start with? Best?
Sure.
What is it? What's the best job experience? Getting paid. That's it, right? Payday? Sign-on bonuses? Not the Army ones?
Go with your, oh yeah, how much was an Army sign-on bonus? I didn't know they even had those.
For me, it was $100 a month for every month that you were, because I did like the senior delayed entry program from high school. So for my MLS, $100 a month up until you go to basic. For my older brother, whenever the Army needed more people, it was $1,000 a month.
Damn.
Plus, I want to say he got like a chunk sign-on bonus and then $1,000 a month.
That's not fair.
No.
Who was that? Kev or?
That was Mark.
Mark?
Yeah.
Really?
For a fucking mechanic.
Damn.
All right. So, best first worst. Best job experience. Best job experience has to be getting paid, right?
But like, what's a cool thing? Like, you come home from the ER and you have stories from the Army where you're like, oh, this was the coolest thing, or we got to do this today, and
I don't know. All my patients are kind of like the same, right?
I don't know. You've had broom guy,
Oh,
blown
okay.
up guy.
Broom guy was cool, I guess.
You have the what's it called? The shocking the other day. Where you just sat up.
Oh, the
You
dead
had good
cockroach.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, those are good ones. I guess the best thing is having this new job and like being able to step into that role as a nurse coming from a medic. So like, it's kind of the same as far as skills go, where start lines, give medications, so on and so forth, right? However, the main difference I guess would say is a level of understanding, as well as being the one to delegate rather than being delegated to in like a hospital setting. So yeah, I guess best would be that it's a very rewarding experience. You know, you're able to come home with a whole bunch of stories, and you're supposed to look at them, not me.
I look at you the whole time.
I know, I see that. But yeah, no, it's a rewarding career. About 30% of the time. I think you would I think you would agree with that. I think most nurses would say that like 30% of your patients are like really good.
No.
The other ones are like crawl like crusaders and want you in the room every 5 minutes. Or that one gal the other day, every 45 seconds, she's on that call light.
Yeah.
So that's not exactly like a great best job experience. First job experience, I don't know. I was like 13 and I was cleaning dishes at a diner,
Oh, yeah.
and they were paying me like $5 an hour flat rate.
And soda.
No. I didn't even get this. See, they didn't even like Compass meals or anything like that. The soda was the gal, kind of like right next door.
Oh.
She was running it was a gas station. I don't even think it was a gas station. I don't think it had gas pumps. It was literally just a convenience store called Taylor's, right across the road from Allsup's. And the gal there, Vera, was like super cool. So, you know, at like 12, 10 years old, she'd let you go in there and, you know, you'd go and help her plug in the machines and stuff, like for the sodas. And then you'd get like a free soda. Dude, we were 10 years old and she's letting us buy scratch offs. So, like, that was illegal, but fun.
But it's from a southern lady named Vera.
Yeah.
So it works.
Just letting it go.
Oh, really?
Worst job experience? Honestly, like, there's so many, like, bad job experiences that are, like, worst. I don't know what I would describe as, like, the worst that I'm willing to talk about. But the most recent worst one
Worst in a cringy way versus like a sad
pooper.
way. Yeah.
was, the poop story. So, it was a patient who just...
And can I just note, he's telling this story.
No, they get the
In front of
abridged.
this
They get the
whole-
abridged version. Oh,
Why?
okay. Well, because I'm not going to go super into depth with like HIPAA and all that.
Oh well, yeah, but
Yeah.
still, you gotta get enough details to make it.
It was a X number year old patient. See, that's vague.
There you go.
That just didn't want to take care of himself and comes in for constipation, and well, we got it all out, and It looked like a GI bleed. It looked like the textbook definition of a GI bleed.
Which, for people who don't know, what is that?
It is black tarry stools, but it didn't, and it's supposed to look like coffee grounds for like, coffee grounds is upper, like more in your stomach, like it's passed through. This, and the smell too. It all comes back to you.
Was this the day you had to aerosolize coffee?
Yeah. Fun trick for you. I'll get to that. But no, he was just again didn't want to take care of himself, so he was letting himself do it, and he didn't want help, like as in get out of the bed. And going back to the GI bleed, it's described in the textbook as like black tarry stools. This dude looked like he was shitting like bubbly oil. Yeah.
Or ink. That's what you told yourself you had to think of it as.
Because I don't do stool well. So like, wrong career to get in. If I don't do stool, I can do everything else. I was like holding his stomach, like I was holding his vomit inside him the other day. I can deal with like nasal secretions, boogers, everything else. Stool, no thank you. So Tracy was a godsend that day. I can't thank her enough. And it was her birthday too.
Oh,
I felt so bad.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But we ended up getting him cleaned up and everything. Tracy, one of the experienced nurses that we work with, or that I work with, super smart. Apparently, this is like it came out of like the dark days of COVID. In that it was a trick. But if you're trying to get rid of a smell of a horrifying patient in a room, obviously peppermint oil and gauze in like a little sterile bowl, fine. Another thing, and this is the thing that Tracy showed us, was grab a nebulizer that's usually used for like ipratropium and pour coffee in there and just aerosolize the room with coffee. So yeah, that's the most recent worst one. Now it's your turn. I'll switch you spots so you can look at the camera more.
No, they can see. I'm good.
No, that's fine.
Let's see. Best. I don't know. I think I don't have. What the hell?
Oh, I thought it's only okay if you do it.
You're talking. It's normal that I stare.
Talk to them.
Freak. I think I don't have like individual experiences. Why are you keep nodding me that way?
Talk to them.
I don't have individual experiences really. I mean, there's lots, but it's more encompassed into different like jobs I've held. I think probably the best is got to be what I've got right now. The dialysis. I mean, I built relationships with these patients that I never imagined. I mean, I know stuff about, I know what their schedule is outside of work. I know the events they go to. I know them like family, and we feel like each other are family. There was the potential that I was going to be moving to a different clinic, and they were not having any of that. So that's something super special to me, because I'm that person that needs to have that relationship with the patients. But I kind of did the same thing when I was a CNA. The gal that I sat with, she had some pretty extensive dementia and all that. She was very special, and she only knew me. She had no idea what my name was. No, she never knew if he said, "Oh, Mary's coming," or "Mary's down here," or blah blah blah. She'd go, "Who's that?" But she knew every time I walked in the door. She goes, "There's my special one." So she knew me, but she had no, couldn't like pick a name or anything like that.
So is that best and first?
No. So that would be best.
Oh,
but
yeah, because you didn't start in the medical field.
No, I think my first job was working for Verizon in a call center, and it was awful. I mean, just horrible. And especially for somebody who's quiet, I had to talk all day long about stuff that I didn't know, because they gave us basically a crash course, and then you had to Google everything, but you could only put somebody on hold for 30 seconds. And then all the supervisors stood in a raised area and like yelled at you if you were on too long. as soon as you
That's a
hung
good way to
up,
smack, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
and then if you tried to ask for help, you had to raise your hand if you needed help with a question. Sometimes you sat there for 30 minutes. So you'd sit there, and then your arm would get super tired, so you raise up your other hand, and then that would get tired, and you raise the other one because it was taking them that long to get over to you. Yet they bash on you for having them on hold for too long. So, yeah, that was pretty awful. And like, as soon as you hung up a call, you had to be fast enough with the buttons that another call didn't pop through. And you had to finish like a note, almost like charting. You had to write a whole note about what you talked about, close out that account, open the other one. And if you didn't keep hitting this button, you would just get barraged with calls and people yelling at you over phones. So that was pretty awful. But, so first, worst, I don't know. Again, I've had a lot.
the clickiness of
That too.
some of the medical field.
Yeah, I guess I've had worst in like different ways. Cause yeah, there was the clickiness to where I got shoved out. There was just the unsafeness and the covering up of a lot of malpractice in another job that they almost came after my license for, even though I was the one keeping everything straight.
You're the one who reported it.
I reported it, yeah, and that's the thing. They figured out that I reported it, so then they were coming after me. But I think the worst in the most cringy way is my first medical job field. So I was a CNA for Visiting Angels, and this house that I went to, you remember?
Is this the creepy haunted house?
No, because he was really sweet. The wife was awful. But he was super, super sweet. And we just got to sit and watch like MASH and Andy Griffith and stuff for about 2 hours at night before he went to bed. And, but no, because I went to my dementia gal, and then I had another shift that day, and so it was my first one with these people, and I knocked on the door, and the daughter, who these people are big boned.
Oh, fat.
Yeah.
I'll say it.
But
These
like,
people were fat.
but like morbidly so, and I don't have an issue with that. But at least be appropriate. She answered the door in her underwear and a t-shirt with no bra on. And I'm a professional coming in to take care of your mother. So, I dare you to get in front of this camera.
No.
So, and they were the kind, I got yelled at all the time. One of the first days, I'd come and the sink was piled over with dishes and dirty food and like flies flying around. And then there was one day they were gone and I cleaned the whole house while the mom napped. There was food smeared up the walls in the living room, in the kitchen, down the cupboards, on the floor. And then I took her out to just like have lunch or something, and then came back. It was all back the way that it was before I cleaned it.
Wow.
And
Just
there
that
was only,
fast?
Yes, and there was only the 2 daughters and granddaughter who was like 8 years old living there. I'm like, we were gone for about 2 hours. How?
I would have never done that.
Yeah. It was all I could do because the mom ended up warming up to me and being super sweet. And saying that like I was the only one that listened to her and stuff. I'm like, I can't leave. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I'm not that nice.
But later that same day, so the daughter's in there, I'm getting the mom dressed and everything, and we're out having breakfast, and then the daughter comes walking by in nothing but a towel that's barely covering anything. And then, so like you have the kitchen, and straight down is, if you're standing at the sink, straight down is their laundry room.
Oh, she just drops the towel.
Yes!
Yep.
Yes!
Yep.
With me there, seeing that I'm making eye contact with her, she drops the towel. And I'm just like, I don't care if you look like a model, you don't do that with people in your house. So that was probably the cringiest one.
It's disgusting.
I know.
That's all I
There
got.
you go. Yeah, I don't know how to end it. So.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all we got. She doesn't know how to end it, so we're good.
Well, now I'm continuing because I'm just finishing this up. Damn.
She's got more. We're not good.
Shut up!